Yeah.
It was a garbage can,
Yeah, one of those can holders or something.
can holder, yeah, and I used it for other stuff. But it got, it was plastic, had all the pieces, except that it had two left sides.
Yeah.
The left side and the right side was the left side.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that kind of sucks. So I just turned it around and hollowed it out and it worked.
Yeah. Well, as I say, I don't mind getting something that's a little messed up when you're getting a good deal on it.
I think I
But some
paid
of
like
these
$30 for it.
people bid this crap up, and I was like, I watch this like 100-gallon chest a lot, and because I like to get one just to put. Dad likes to put stuff up under the house. We have a ranch house, so I mean we got an overhang that's like this, so there's plenty of room to put um um
Oh, I think the screen's too low.
stuff in.
It's not on. Why isn't it on?
Anyway,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you and Steve's
Yep.
at home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
Well, I can.
It's all right, Steve.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Oh, wait,
Is that an echo?
I don't think so.
Okay.
How am I supposed to ask all my techie computer questions at dinner if you're not here?
Okay.
I've been trying to play with OpenStack and it's a monster.
It is. We're supposed to be translating everything we've got now into OpenStack in the next year-ish.
Yeah. It's a
It's
lot
not going to happen.
less monster than I expected it to be. And I'm very intrigued that it's not a bare metal platform.
Okay, this actually worked last time. It's not working right now.
You got it in the right place?
Yeah,
didn't
I didn't have that on when I started the computer. I bet that's what the problem was.
Oh,
But the computer doesn't see
device.
the device, so
I was gonna plug the cable, plug it back in, it should,
I did.
did you?
I did.
Yeah, it's just too
Is the screen all the way down?
It is.
blue screen from the projector, it's just not. And the lights blue up there, it's went solid, it's just not displaying.
Yeah, and now it's trying to shut off and it's not shutting off. Odd. It's very odd. Anyway, you're not here, Steve, so I can't really show you this.
He brought you toys and you're not in here.
Yeah, I brought things. And you can't even appreciate it.
What are they?
LED matrices.
Ah,
I think last week you had said something about
1 inch by 1 inch LEDs.
making a diffuser.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw your pictures. It looks good.
Yeah, now our camera doesn't work.
It does.
You can't see me though.
In one image, I can.
Oh, really? Interesting. Because it looks like it's froze to me.
Let's say it's still showing the wall on our screen.
And now Steve looks frozen.
I know it.
Gotta love the library. I was getting earlier today, I was getting 50 plus down and 35 plus up. So there's not a whole lot of people here either.
Oh, the library's relatively empty.
It's, yeah, they're there's not a whole lot of people here.
It was nice because there's parking spots this week.
There are parking spots.
I am fine with it.
Which image can you see? The little image or the big image
I see the little image.
of us, of me and,
I see you and Barry.
okay,
Yes.
in the little image.
Yeah, but it's really small.
Weird.
Maybe unplug the other camera, plug it back in.
This camera was giving me a fit last week too. Maybe this camera's finally died.
Okay, now it's different.
Yeah, we see Barry.
Doesn't look different to me.
We see Barry with a bunch of pictures behind him.
There he is. Oh,
Yeah, there he is.
all right. I think maybe this camera's dying. Maybe.
Is that the big white one?
It's the Logitech ball thing.
Yeah.
It's on the stick.
Now Barry isn't moving.
No,
So I don't know.
Barry's not moving. He's
Oh,
stationary right now.
so the camera's not frozen. It's just Barry's frozen.
Yeah. Barry's very stationary right now.
Barry's watching some action.
What's with the light?
Well, that's got a white diffuser on it that I 3D printed. And I knew it was going to still be too bright for the camera.
Yeah, it is pretty bright, I can tell you.
But that animation's not too bad. That's pretty bright. And I printed one in black and one diffuser in black, which you can actually see on the camera.
Yeah.
That's behind a black diffuser.
How thick?
I don't know, how thick would you say that is? It's probably a couple layers, maybe 3 layers.
Under, just a shade under an eighth. Maybe a little less.
If you hold this up to the light, you can see through it. But just see through it. So I printed another white one because I like the way the white diffuser works better than the black diffuser. The black diffuser, I had to set the brightness up to 75% for the LEDs. And the white diffuser, even though it's still pretty bright, is set down at like 10% for the LEDs.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So this one will get warm. This one will get warm because it's got a lot of heat generating from those LEDs.
Yeah.
And the white one stays pretty cool. So, but I got these LED ESP32 LED matrices, but I thought I would try an experiment because you had asked about diffusing 3D printing diffusers and whatever.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
So
Why is that still on? It's still blue, but it says it's off. Okay, never mind.
It's projecting blank screen,
but it says it's off.
So is this just a printed slab, or do
Yeah.
you have some special pattern in it, or what?
So there's a little like grid where the
Yeah.
LEDs sit. And if you were in person, if you were here and could see it, you would see that little pattern show up behind
Yeah,
the thing. And it looks really, really good. You can kind of sort of see the pattern with the black. You see how it's got some black outline, like
okay.
the LEDs are in squares. So that's just a fast LED demo. So if you've seen the fast LED demo, yeah, you know that cable might be bad because I brought a new, but it keeps showing up. It says built-in display. I don't know. The fun of new things.
Is that just regular PLA?
Yep. And this little device is an ESP32S3. That's very bright. You can't see. I'm telling you in person, this one looks awesome.
It looks pretty bright from here.
The one with the white diffuser just it looks fantastic. Let's get Barry's opinion.
Priceless, sir, priceless.
Priceless. There you go. And it
Okay.
only costs less than a penny to print everything. This case comes in 3 parts. I found it on Thingiverse. It was specifically designed for this matrix that I've got. I had to enlarge it. It's one of the very few prints I've actually had to enlarge with the new printer, but it took less than 6 minutes to actually build it, to make all 3 parts. Like each part was like 2-minute print job. But that's the matrix.
Is this like a Apple Watch screen or something?
No, it's actually LED matrix.
Through the diffuser, it looks like a screen.
A little bit.
What do we put on that?
I don't know yet.
Oh, okay.
This was
I
my.
don't understand the 3 parts.
I didn't really understand either. But there's like a bezel, and then there's the diffuser, and then there's the back. And the only thing I could guess is if you wanted to change the diffuser out, it's just that simple. Pop a new diffuser in. It takes like 2 minutes to print that diffuser.
So those 3 parts snap together or what?
Yeah, they just snap together. It's a press fit. And even though I had to enlarge it a little bit to make it all work, it still is pretty much a press fit. It's pretty tight. And I may have enlarged it just a little bit too big because it shouldn't have come apart quite as easy as it did, but I kind of like the idea that it came apart easily.
So you don't break the boards.
You don't break the board. There's a little like key, a little like notch on that, so that this really can only go in one way. And then there's a little, you can't really see it. There's a little bump. That's where the USB sticks out along that bump. And that's really the only thing you got to pay attention to. But it really won't go together right if you don't pay attention
Just
to it.
string a bunch of them together, you can have scrolling text across it.
As is already, I've already done text and stuff. That's actually what their demo was. Their code demo was for text. I was like, weird.
I would think that the principal use for it is probably just some kind of notification on something. Try to display a pressure or temp or
The guy who introduced me to this, see how much brighter that is with, that's the one that's like at 75%. That's the one that used to be behind the black. You guys are going to appreciate that. That looks like a UFO on the camera.
It's awfully pretty here. You poor guys.
Yeah.
Missing out.
Yeah, you need to come here and see the prettiness.
That had been the plan.
So the guy that there was an instructable for an emoji display.
Yeah, that'd be good for that. I would,
That and I went, oh, that's cool. So I went on AliExpress and found them for like $3 a piece instead of $7 a piece. They got here, no tariff, just showed up in the mailbox. He designed the case. He writes a lot of software for a lot of different companies, but mostly for mostly you see his stuff for like TT Go or Lily Go. He writes a lot of software for them. But this is a wave share device, so go figure. Very smart guy. He designed a thing that doesn't have all the emojis converted to a picture. It converts it as soon as you click on it off of a web page. And I'm like, that is very cool.
So how'd you dodge the tariff?
They just showed up. Actually, I'm not entirely sure. It has something to do with how AliExpress is shipping their stuff. When it actually got to me, it didn't have any label on it at all that said China on it. It just said what is it here?
GHL.
No, Albatross USA, I think is who actually
Albatross USA?
yeah.
Okay.
Albatross USA is who actually sent it. And well, who sent it once it got here into the States. And maybe that's how you get around the tariff.
Well, I'm gonna say, I think for the most part, AliExpress is playing on board, and they've been. I watched a thing that did a breakdown on it a while back, and they said that AliExpress was expecting this stuff 3 or 4 years ago. After when he was in terms of things and made arrangements to ship their stuff in legitly, where the other two aren't, like Temu and whatever the other East State or whatever, they're violating the law all over the place.
Yeah, I think among all the importers, AliExpress is more legit than most.
Oh yeah, so they cleaned up their act a long time ago just because they wanted the U.S. market. When there were so many scammers, because they hunt their scammers down and don't pay them. So
Yeah, well,
I mean,
that's,
Amazon doesn't even hardly do that.
that's the big
sometimes.
thing with AliExpress is they hold the money in escrow.
Yeah,
You've got to tell them to go ahead and release the payment,
yeah,
or they'll release it after 90 days or something.
yeah.
It's,
No, I've never, I mean, I've had issues with stuff from AliExpress, but I've usually gotten what I've ordered in a fairly decent manner.
yeah, I've
I've had some issues with some packaging where it all got ripped up in the conveyor belt somewhere, and
well, even
I got screwed on that one, but
I had something. Well, I got some Lego pieces in place of something that I had ordered, which means the guy that ordered the Lego pieces probably got what I ordered, and it just was a
swapped in the wrong box.
mix up. AliExpress, like, keep the Lego pieces. Here's your money.
Yeah,
Well, okay.
yeah, well, I don't want to pay to ship it back. It ain't worth their time.
The
But sometimes they do.
yeah, I have had to ship one thing back, but they gave me a label, and it shipped to somewhere here in the States. It wasn't even.
Yeah, no, I've never had them ask for anything back, but I've never said it. I've had more problems with Amazon and the postal service than I've had with AliExpress, other than that one package getting stuck in the conveyor and eating a hole through it.
Well, the only thing that, when I had to ship the one thing back from, they gave me a label, they gave me all, but they wanted pictures. They wanted pictures of me with the package. They wanted pictures,
Yeah, to verify them.
all of it. And then they wanted me to email the receipt to them. And I'm like, holy crap. I mean, make me jump through hoops to get my $9 back.
Yeah, well,
I don't know. If
Mine was even cheaper.
years ago, $9 in China was a lot of money. Some people only made that a month.
I actually looked at Patty and said, is it really worth all this hassle just for $9?
I'm still waiting on my rebate from Corsair, which that's been a decade. I don't think I'm ever going to get it.
Good luck with that. But I've never really had a big problem with AliExpress. 90% of the time, you tell them there's a problem. 3 or 4 days later, you get money in your account.
Yeah, I'm never bothered to claim anything. I should have on the one that ate the package because the guy said he was going to mail me replacements and I never got them.
Well, the one that didn't send me the cables is really the one that I probably should have complained a little bit more, but who cares? I mean, it was just a couple of stupid cables for I2C, and they should have been included, but they would have. It would have been more hassle just to try to get them.
Oh, I said those chips I ordered from AliExpress fit from Illinois, so.
Well, the guy gave me, I think he gave me a 75-cent credit for the next order, and I'm like, okay, whatever.
Mine was laser printer labels. It was 10 sheets of some little tiny wire labels, and they were folded in the package, which just screwed up the whole thing. Couldn't even use the labels around the edge unless you were going to print them by hand. But it was like $4. And I had to do the same thing. Lots of pictures and send in the receipt, and they wanted it back. They sent a label so I could send back 10 sheets of paper.
I wanted to go after him, like, why'd you fold this?
Well, for like I said, for the most part, I do not have a problem with AliExpress. AliExpress,
Been very, very good to me.
yeah.
I would say,
I mean,
I ordered in 8 bolts from Amazon. I got in 5 bolts. So, I mean, and I tried to return them and they took the credit off on the other item I bought, which was fine. And I got on time. And the M8 bolts were 2.5 weeks late. And I canceled that order. And I weren't M8 bolts after all. So I was like, this is bonkers.
And you should have just called Ray up because I'm sure he's got M8 bolts.
Well, that's, ended up buying them from the freaking hardware store in town for like $1.50 each. So they were stainless steel. Thanks for that desk.
When Ray was really making robots a lot, he bought 100,000 screws.
No, well, for what it cost him to buy 5,000, you might as well have 100,000, and
Yeah, there was
because they were probably cheaper.
It was cheaper to buy 100,000 than it was to buy
5.
what he actually needed.
Well, that's what I looked at stuff on Ollie, and if you wanted to buy in bulk, it's like, yeah, I really don't want to, buy a case of these, but buy it in a case is a lot better than buying 10. So what am I going to do with 1,000 kits? Dave Lunder, whatever he orders stuff on reels from them, because it's like by the time you might only need 100 of them, but if you pay for 100, you're paying $100. If you buy a reel of it, it's $100, and you get 1,000 or 10,000 of them.
Yeah.
And you don't have to order them ever again. The problem is then he's got like 14 egg crates under his desk and all full of all the spools, and can't find the one he's looking for when he needs it.
But Ray buys a lot of stuff because he has a container coming with
Room.
4 or 5 laser machines in it, and there's room left. So he just loads the container full of stuff.
Yeah.
One day I walked in and he probably had 400 rolls of filament. And I'm like, why? $6 a roll.
Yeah.
Versus $20 a roll.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, I didn't really even care what color they as long as it was the right size, I don't care.
Yeah.
It was cheaper to buy it like that and have it shipped from China because he had the room to do it. It didn't cost him anything to ship it.
As I say, he's going to pay for that anyway, bringing it over.
And now the tariffs are going to kick in and it's going to kill him.
I mean, it needed to have been done 40 years ago.
It did. I think it's a good thing, but
if it had been done the right way 40 years ago, he'd been making the stuff out of American parts, not needing Chinese. And the Chinese would still not be technologically equipped. And I never understood how so many people violated the export to China laws under NAFTA. But that's one of the things that saved the Japanese, because they're looking at what America was doing. America was violating it all over the place, so they finally was like, well, they're making stuff as good as us almost now, might as well sell it to them. And that's what took them out of their 10-year recession.
Anything new going on, Mr. Art?
Well, we are getting ready to come back to Milford. And this may be a one-way trip this time.
Oh, a one-way trip.
Well, maintaining 2 houses that you only spend 6 months a year in.
Yeah.
First of all, it's expensive to begin with, but also, it's a lot of hassle. You got 2 yard grass cutters. You got two of everything.
Two of it.
And you're
Yep.
Think of it this way. You got two of everything and you're using each of them only half time. So and at this point, frankly, Barbara and I are just keeping up with all the stuff that's going on. And in terms of economics, it makes more sense. We've got probably 10 times the equity in this place in California I do in Milford. So it makes sense to collapse it to Milford rather than collapse it to California. So,
but then there's Ohio weather.
well, I spent the first 24 years of my life in Ohio weather. So from my perspective,
It's
Ohio
home.
weather's just Ohio weather.
It's just Ohio weather.
Uh, the air quality where I live in Milford is considerably better, and given that Barbara has acute breathing problems, there's some arguments for there.
Yeah.
I mean, the situation with her asthma is that when we start having forest fires out here, I put her on a plane and she heads for Ohio.
Yeah.
It's just, her asthma is back and bad enough that doesn't take much uh, smoke in the air to really cause her serious medical problems. So, at any rate, we talked about it for a couple of years and finally decided it's decided it's time. Originally, we bought this place in Milford because, well, quite frankly, I've got a daughter living in Cincinnati. And you know, uh, we wanted some place that was close enough to her so that we weren't camping in her guest room. And so and the housing prices in Ohio are sufficiently low to make it feasible. So
Yeah.
end of the story. Basically, we finally decided to do it. So now we're in the process of clearing out 38 years of accumulation in this house in California. And it's amazing. I mean, there's shit here that I didn't even remember ever getting. This is
Oh, I can only imagine 38 years. I cleaned out our little storage shed last year. I've got to clean it out again. It's completely full again. Completely full again.
well, junk tends to accumulate to it reminds me of nature abhors a vacuum. If you got
Boyle's
space,
gas law.
yeah, exactly.
You need to have some grandparents that had a farm.
PV equals NRT.
Yeah.
Basically, some variation of the gas laws.
Kept everything.
Yeah. Well, my mom is basically a hoarder. And it is like pulling teeth to have her get rid of anything.
They had newspapers all the way back to like 1950s. And all their junk mail and all their important papers and all their bills and all their
my mom, she she's gotten rid of a lot of stuff, but we looked at her one day and we told her, you're almost 80 years old. What are you going to do with this stuff? It ain't doing you any good. Get rid of it. Yeah.
When was the last time you looked at it? That's the question I just.
Well,
or do you remember where you got it?
Do you even know what this is? Oh, look, this is growing feathers. When we moved this last time, I went with Vicente. You know, he said, if you haven't seen it in 4 years, get rid of it. And I got rid of so much stuff. Some of it I miss, some of it I don't miss. But there was just a whole storage unit full of stuff. And the problem is I've accumulated more stuff. I mean, it just keeps coming. We live in a small apartment and I've got no room. You guys have kind of seen a little bit of the computer room, and it is completely full of stuff. And I go on AliExpress and buy more stuff. I got buckets of microcontrollers. Why do I need more?
Well,
You should come on over and like build my CNC stuff.
Yeah.
Our nemesis is bankers boxes. Bankers boxes are inexpensive, and you can put, I don't know what, a cubic foot and a half in them, something like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think we probably have a couple hundred bankers boxes still here. And so a lot of this stuff, quite frankly, we're going to get a dumpster in the driveway, and it's going to go in the dumpster.
Goodwill will give you a tax write-off for some of it if you itemize.
Well, I don't use tax write-offs at all anymore. The whatever it is, the standard deduction is
I'll say if it's good stuff, there's always something.
Covers me.
You got nice stuff, come and get it.
Yeah, if Goodwill will take a lot of stuff, but you pretty much have to haul it. Some other places like Salvation Army will come and get your stuff.
If you got nice stuff, they'll come and get it for you.
Oh, he found us. Vicente's here.
Hello. Greetings, sir.
Howdy. It is.
You're still in town or not?
Stuff when you
We couldn't get the projector working today.
you have place for the robots.
Yeah, there's a lot of room in.
Steve. No, this is a conversation.
Oh,
Please.
conversation
I
piece.
just took stuff from. This is a robot.
Is that the one that's
Was delivered yesterday. This is the one with the camera.
have you got to play with it yet?
Yeah, the camera works, with the web server thing, but with the code for the car, it turn on the lights and everything, but doesn't appear in the web. I use the IP address, but nothing.
So what is that?
It is.
A robot.
It's an ESP32 cam with its daughter board.
This thing goes.
Yeah.
Oh, don't you
Okay. Yeah,
get rid of the daughter board?
This board is mine. I use it for the upload.
Yeah, the daughter board's used for the uploads.
That's all you dropped was the screwdriver. That's right there.
I have like 40 of this. Everything you buy
Comes with
comes with one.
So there's a little robot with a little camera, little battery.
Supposedly there is a programmer serial chip here, but you need to solder
Oh,
something. I don't know why they
yeah, do
they use
that.
the power port for that.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Make you feel like you built it.
Hmm?
Make you feel like you built it. Because you had to solder in one joint.
Yes. Maybe I can use the OTA loading over the air. You know, just without using cables.
Is it supposed to be
It
doing
comes
something?
without the battery.
Yeah.
This is the charger and the drivers, and I think there is a microcontroller I2C interaction with the ESP32.
It looks a lot like those microbit.
Yes, it's like this little is snowy, you know. Key Studio. They do a lot of kits and robots and stuff. Then, when you love the code that they provide, it flashes the LEDs.
Mhm.
It means that it's working. It serially. When I use this interface in the Arduino interface, you have the IP address. I use it in the computer, but nothing. And I use a net scanner to check what IP addresses are in the network, and it doesn't appear the one that is in the serial terminal.
What IP address?
The one to control the robot, you use a browser, you know.
Oh, okay.
You use a browser, supposedly it appears the image of the camera, and you have control arrows to control the robot in the browser, in your computer or your phone or whatever. But doesn't work. And because you teach me that I can bring robots that doesn't work. This is mine today.
I didn't bring one that didn't work this time.
Yes,
And the one that
almost.
it worked, it just didn't work well.
Or correctly.
And this is
These are the cards for it.
okay.
I found a
This
way
is
to,
like enter. Just do it.
yeah, I found a way to get it to read multiple cards. So that's what I've been playing around with. So it can read. So these are the cards for that robot from last week.
Yeah, but I don't think that reads the design or
Well,
maybe the colors, the combination.
it's reading, it's sending like the label, right? So you still have to know what that label means.
Okay.
So this is the traffic card. And these are the shape cards. So the shape cards have a green outline. And the color cards have no, they're just
And
colors.
you hold this in front of the robot, and you have a sign or something.
It'll in the serial.
Blinks or how you know?
Yes, yeah, well, the LEDs will turn green when it, or
Okay,
blue when it sees them.
and then go with another one.
And then the console will tell you traffic label.
Well, turn, right, turn.
Yeah, well, you've got to figure out what to do with what it sees. Now I can still only get to see one color at a time, which is I think
Five colors.
I think you got
Another one?
I think there's
Green. Yeah,
So what you're saying is you're getting
6 colors.
blue color.
not sure why it will only see one color at a time.
Matrix isn't working.
Colors. Circle. Circle is weird, but it's a circle. Triangle. It will only read these cards if
Steve, move to the left.
I had to move you to the left.
Right.
If the card's upside down, see, that's right side up. If the card is upside down, it won't read it.
They can't extrapolate.
How does it tell if it's upside down?
I think this little key right here, there's a little nut.
Oh, okay.
The corner.
Yeah. But
It should be able to
The-
read them upside down though.
it should, but don't ask me.
Program better.
The number card,
What if you move the car a little bit?
it seems like as long as it's right side up,
Okay,
I've got little stands that are,
okay, but if you turn a little bit, it doesn't work.
I don't know, I haven't tried that, but I've got stands where they're cocked back a little bit.
Mhm. Okay.
And it works just fine with those. It seems to think they're a little bit further away than they are, but yeah, I can deal with that. But like the color, the number cards have a different color. And the shape cards have a different color. And the traffic control cards have a different color. And I think the color has something to do with, because see, it's still sending a label 1
Yeah, yeah.
and label 2, which was something over here. and label 0.
I think
So you still have to know what it is you're looking at.
it knows the border
It knows the border.
and it has this area defined and use a kind of a convolution
Mhm.
with all the patterns you have in memory and decide which one is the closest.
It's actually pretty good with reading cards as long as the cards are.
I think I can do it.
They probably didn't have coding in it for agreement where they're upside down.
Well, I don't know, there's 10 shape cards, there's six or seven color cards, there's 4 or 5 shape cards. I mean, you're probably talking 20, 25 cards. You're probably pushing the memory of the thing in the first place. It's not horrible. And it seems to read the cards really well, even at a distance. It's just, I'm trying to get it to be able to, like, you put cards out and then it,
But you can have this for 10 times less money.
right now, 10 times less, $3. Three. I got $3. I can do that.
No,
Oh.
I mean, your robot costs like 200, right?
Yeah,
No, this is one is 32 or something.
yeah, but
Depends on.
you have
But
to
this is
do,
free shipping.
but you have to do all the work to figure it out.
Yeah.
I don't have to. I don't have to do a whole lot of work.
code in the web that do that. They use a more powerful microcontroller, to do that.
Wow. I wish this company would have published their code like the firmware and stuff like they said they would. I can't find it. Because I'm sure if we had the code, we could port it over to an USB.
No, but you don't have the power to compute on time that it's, they use like H7 or something microcontroller that is 4 or 5 times faster. You can do it with ESP32, but it will be like 10 seconds waiting for the computing.
Yeah, it's it's surprising that. So,
Well, maybe I can make another PC board with the right connector and charger in the same connector. But now I think that the PCB will be double price because the tariffs. So
Wait a week or two.
we're just gonna have to
these
wait.
holes are Lego compatible
Okay.
to connect Lego bricks. I don't like these LEDs because when you see in the wall, you see a couple of spots,
Oh,
very,
yeah.
very bright, and the rest is like a shadow.
Yeah.
It's not like this one, the flats one, that is like homogeneous light. It's like a couple of beams that are no good for image processing.
I like this little stand.
Yeah, this is a 3D.
It's a 3D printed
Yeah.
little stand. That was done with an SLA printer. A little stand for the camera.
Is good over the SD card.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Thing.
Yeah.
You can upload it to check.
I forgot that had an SD card.
It has a double face tape. It comes with a little square of tape.
I've got that same board in one of my boxes. I rarely use it because
I like 2 dozens for this camera. And there are different models. There are models without the reset pin connected. So you need to push this thing at the same time that connect to the Arduino. It's a mess. When you press the reset in this board, this one doesn't reset because it's not connected. In some models, this one is working. This one is okay.
Yeah, I never really understood why they didn't just include this on that.
The size or price. They use almost all the available space.
They could have just made it a little bit bigger.
Well, there is another model that includes the serial port is a little bigger, but it's more expensive. This thing is really cheap. I think
That's
under $5 or something.
That's why I've been buying the.
The program you need to hold boot and press reset.
Yep. That's why I've been buying the camera modules from M5 Stack because it's all included.
I don't know why they didn't include the couple of transistors that make the loading automatic. Just use like Arduino, use the request to send signal or something, and just program the board. A full adapter to program the SP32 camera, but you use a couple of buttons to program.
Like it.
They have in survey station
Oh,
in the basement.
I've got one of these. So
On here.
it's a
Large.
shortwave. It's a shortwave radio.
Yeah, but it has FM
and AM, and it doesn't get anything inside.
Mm,
You are in
It has a recorder in a SD card.
I mean, F in
You
the
can
computer and here.
record a program or a song or whatever.
Let's say the walls block. That's in.
Volume here.
We got something.
Lunar-based climate insurance space to install a new radar on top of a 100-foot water tower in Dry Ridge last year. Since then, the technology picked up major weather events like last month's tornado.
Bye-bye. These are kind of neat. I've got one saying on my workbench.
Yeah.
It's up here, isn't it?
Mm, I don't know.
Cool.
He brought more full toys than I did.
Well,
I have sunglasses. And a 14-year-old cell phone.
that's an old cell phone.
I'm assuming it's 14, it's a 7. So 14 plus is out.
My plan was to add my program for the ESP32 4-line follower. I just found the program, but it was too late for the meeting.
Yeah.
Is this?
Oh,
this is
okay.
what the ESP32C. You know, I convert the image to black and white and increase the contrast a lot until I see the line in the paper and the white the rest. So I then try to figure out the middle of the line, and the robot will follow me. My idea is to put this code in this P32. But I just found the code a couple of hours ago. So
You're gonna build a self-driving.
Huh?
Are you gonna build a self-driving mini car?
My self-driving mini car is going to read road signs. But only road signs it recognizes, not real road signs.
but I want to have a small screen in the robot to see this image, because this is the ESP32 connected to the computer. And this is a program in the computer using the data to figure out what the robot is seeing. But it would be nice to have a small screen in the robot and move the robot and see the screen, how it see the.
I found, well, we were cleaning out part of the shed the other day. I found a couple of controllers called library controllers that apparently they're Linux boards, and they've got a little camera on them, and they've got OpenCV built in.
Okay.
They're smaller than Arduino Uno, but they're about this. They're definitely bigger than that. And the website kind of disappeared. I can't find much about it now, and I'm like, I never use these for anything. This is another one of those things that's set in a box.
Clearance it out the other day.
You cannot use OpenCV with the ESP32.
But it's got a camera already on board.
We're looking for that really cheap stuff they had at night the other day. I'm like, I didn't see it anywhere, so I guess they sold them all.
Well,
I am planning to change the camera. This one is like 60 degrees. I will change it for a double angle, because if you want to follow something, you easily you get out of the of the field of view.
Yeah.
Just move a little bit and you lose the target. So the idea is to have a wider vision to follow the target. This is too narrow.
Too narrow.
So you need to be very far and in front, trying to figure out what's going on.
Fish islands.
Mhm.
But the fish islands distorts after a while.
The most common is 160 degree. But I think I have a 120, maybe enough.
I remember when we were playing with that robot from Mark, we bought a bunch of lenses and played around with different lenses. I've still got some of them somewhere. Not real sure what happened to them.
And maybe I need to put this higher with a large flat table. A little bit higher to see better.
Out in front, yeah.
Because when you put 120 degrees, you will see this in the image. It's too close to the camera. Maybe I'm stand with the camera maybe half an inch higher.
Well, and then you would need a longer cable through the camera.
Yeah, but there are cameras with different lengths, 4 centimeters, 7, 10, 16. There are plenty of cameras. This is the OS, I don't remember the number. OB6 something.
You got anything going on, Mr. Steve?
Not a thing.
Okay. That's
Sorry.
fair. Except you're stuck at home.
Yep.
Different lengths and different angles of fish eyes or whatever. You see,
Yeah.
plenty of. I don't know. You can see the different cameras you can buy, different cables and different focus.
So they have different lenses on the front of them?
Yeah, you have 30, 45, 120, 160 degrees. You have night vision cameras. And they are cheap.
They're all fit on there.
Look, they are fine.
Wow.
I don't think this is the
99 cents is
99 cents.
can't be the price.
Maybe it's cool.
That's for the whole camera?
That's the new user price.
Yes, usually you go into and find something. Okay, what happened? New users, yes.
That's the new user price.
2 days ago,
I got lots of email addresses.
Yeah.
I bought from AliExpress an Arduino Mega. 2 days ago, appeared the message in my computer, delivery, and delivered like an hour ago with my mailbox picture open. So I went to the mailbox to pick it, and there is nothing there. So I write to the carrier, and they answer the next day, sorry, we lost your package, whatever. So I write to AliExpress with the message. They refund like in 10 seconds the money instantly. I asked for the money and put the picture and the message of the carrier, and they say, sorry, your money was refunded. Wow. And it was very easy to find in the page how to do it, not like Amazon or other stuff. It's almost impossible to find out where is the button to go to. customer service or whatever.
We went on a whole thing about how nice it is to return stuff on AliExpress
Yes.
earlier today. There's another story for AliExpress. Let's support AliExpress.
All the stuff arrives in less than 10 days, and half of the stuff, they have messages, you have $1 extra for the delay,
Yeah,
you know, so you always have $1 extra in your car, calling you to buy something because this is a way of lure you to buy more stuff. Hey,
Sorry.
you have $1.
sorry for the delay. Here's
Yes.
$1.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, which is
This one is baffling me though. This has nothing to do with AliExpress, but this happens in Franklin, at the Franklin post office all the time. Package at Elk Grove Village, Illinois, package accepted, package at Chicago, package at Cincinnati. Within 2 days, it went from Chicago to Cincinnati. It was held in Cincinnati for a day. Went to Franklin, which is my local post office, and back to Cincinnati. It is currently sitting in Cincinnati. It should have been at my house
somewhere.
yesterday.
I just got to take it off the truck.
Well, I know that's what happened, but Cincinnati should have turned right around and set it right back, and it's been there for a day and a half now. This happens Franklin Post Office is horrible. They're a horrible post office, and this happens all the time.
Probably threw it back on the truck to get rid of the bag.
I think they don't want to deliver something one day and they just
Well, that's the same.
throw it on the truck.
They threw it back on the truck and send it back down there so they don't have to export it. Mess with it. We got a letter 2 days ago. And thought the address was kind of strange, so we tried to, it's got somebody else's name on it, and the address doesn't exist. It's like two houses over, and there's no house there. It goes from 2020, or like from 20 to 28. There's not a 24, and it's like, well, that's interesting. All the, it's like somebody's voting under that address. I bet.
I was watching a video about how some of the Amazon scams work.
Yeah.
And you'll get a package that you didn't order or whatever.
Right.
There was a lady who she got like 1,000 packages. She finally got Amazon to take them back, but they're sending you stuff, or they're sending stuff so that it looks like it actually was shipped to a legitimate place, and then they're making fake reviews saying that the stuff is really good or whatever. And it's like a huge scam, and mostly you cannot argue with Amazon to get them to stop sending you stuff.
It's free stuff.
Well, that's what the lady finally did. She kept getting so much stuff.
Now Amazon adds AI review that check all the reviews and make a brief.
This lady kept getting so much stuff from Amazon. She took it down to the local homeless shelter.
I saw in the news.
Yeah, and she was just giving it away. I don't want this stuff. Just take it.
Well, that's the.
And it wasn't like expensive stuff. It was just stuff so they could get the reviews.
Yeah, it's usually a scam because what they'll do is they'll do that for a week or two, and they'll fake all the sales, and then
they'll pack.
Yes,
they'll take orders for like the next month and a half and send out nothing, and then take the money and run.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the review comes from a legitimate buyer.
makes the buyer look legit, and then once they get in, they'll pump the numbers up and make them look like they sold a lot of stuff, and then
And
after
they'll start ranking higher in the search results.
yeah, and they'll say, hey, we sold 800 units last week, when we got 4.8 review factor, and then all of a sudden they take the next few months worth of stuff and don't send out a thing and run with it.
Well,
It's an interesting scam.
that's what this lady on the news though, it wasn't just one seller doing it to her. It was like
Well,
dozens of sellers.
it's probably the same seller. They're using 20 different names.
But when you said that, I thought, oh, they're just sending crap to an address so it looks like they're sold something.
It's like I say, and it's all automated just about anymore. It's crazy what they can do. The script and everything.
So when you start getting 1,000 packages showing up at your door,
yeah, you might want to report it because it's a sign of bad.
it could be bad.
And you're getting a lot of free chemo junk because it's probably not good stuff they're pretending to sell because they know it's not going to a real customer.
I think she got like 20,000 combs or something. What are you gonna do with 20,000 combs?
Well, I'm saying they're not sending what they're saying that you're buying. You're buying like a $200 welder, might be what they're trying to plug on their web page, but then they just need a package to go through Amazon's tracking system. So it could be a sheet of paper in an envelope.
I'm sure that's why she was giving them to the homeless shelters.
Yeah.
200 million combs. Here you go. Go away.
Here's some paper cups.
Here's some cups.
And on
You guys could use that.
website, they sold $1,400 and
Yep.
robots.
Apparently it's a huge scam, especially along the East Coast.
Well, it was a big thing in China for years. It just now hit America about a year ago. There was a big notice from the FBI that came out back in the fall that they were starting to see that happen a lot. And that's why I thought, once I read through it, I was like, this can't be computer. And it's like, it's probably it's creation of AliExpress pretty much.
I get emails every now and then from, especially when I was doing a lot of YouTube videos and whatever, from companies. Buy stuff on Amazon, leave us a review and we'll give you your money back. No. Real companies would not do that. They would say, would you like to have a sample, or you even have to go and ask them for a sample to review it. I've done that. DF Robot sent me a bunch of stuff because I just said I would like to review this stuff.
Yeah.
Said, okay, here you go.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I wonder how hard it is to get a channel going. I'm watching a lot of stupid people now starting to pick me off how much money they make. The one guy I'm watching.
Well,
the last 2 days.
I pretty much stopped doing YouTube after their last. Well, you have to have so many subscribers, and you have to post like a video a day or something to become monetized. And I'm like,
I just say I know a lot of people they only post once a month, but they get 5 or 6 million hits.
Well,
on every freaking video they post.
The level I was at, I guess I had to post a lot. I don't know, but I even looked at it, and my videos still had ads, so Google was making money off of my videos, but I wasn't making money, so I just pulled all my videos. I said, I am not happy with Google.
YouTube's always gonna make money, and that's who owns them now?
That should not be on.
Did you try the video bin? Oh, yeah.
There you go.
I held the off button. Maybe that's the secret. Oh, without that screen,
So,
there's a whole lot more light in here then.
so they have a projector on the ceiling.
Yep. It's directly above us.
Okay.
And it's actually fairly close to the wall. It's really amazing that it works as well as it works. But it didn't work today, so. I brought a long HDMI cord in because that was a problem last time we were here. And I brought a power strip in because that was a problem last time we were in here. And now, of course, the projector didn't work. So. No, I don't know why I put the serial connector here. What for? What's that chip? What's this chip? That's not a serial. This is the thing. It's connected to I2C. Maybe a memory, a flash memory or some, no EEPROM for configuration. It's connected to SDA and SCL. It's kind of a memory. It is maybe if we type that number in, we find out what that is. In the second one, 83 something. I don't know. Let me check it. Okay. The first one, we're 8 C or G. It's like A5. No, I mean 8G G 1K 08 A. We're trying to find out what this little chip is. Right there. Looks like a microcontroller. Okay. It's an 8051 microcontroller. Wow. 1K ultra high speed microcontroller. So it could be anything in this particular game.
So small.
So this is the microcontroller that drives the motors. I would have thought that would have been here. No, but yeah, this is the driver, but not the microcontroller. Okay. And this is a DC, this is the DC right. Control power supply. So this is the controller I2C. Maybe this is handling the I2C and this is handling everything else. Interesting. But, the I2C is connected to the. Okay, and then it use the pins. How many pins left? What is this? Maybe an expander or something.
Oh, I'm not seeing that one.
Change the
That one either doesn't have something on it or my
Yeah,
camera's
yeah.
just not. Oh, I'll take a picture of it.
No, they erase the.
I tried to erase it. There it is. Almost.
Does it have a company label on it?
There it is. There it is.
the
Company the one is an STC.
yeah.
This one is missing, well, it's readable now, but there's no company label on it. That's gotta be another
This
microcontroller.
one, MTU.
Yeah, NTE. That would be the company, right? HR 8833, that's a motor driver, isn't it?
No, but the motor driver may be the other one, this here.
HR 8833.
Okay, 1 second. HR.
Yep.
883. 833.
8833.
Motor driver.
Yeah. That looks like a motor driver.
2 motors.
This has to be,
Dual motor driver. So
I'm guessing this is probably a MUX. A MUX driver, but. Not focusing. Focus.
you could change it. Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
There, oh, that's a CH 3400.
Okay, so this is the
That's the serial driver.
maybe the
Well, that's weird. That means that should.
yes. But it doesn't appear in my computer.
Don't get the part that has to phone home to China.
Well, that's the ESP32 when you connect it to Wi-Fi.
Well, we know what we're working with.
Okay, here are the lines. Now I see the lines of the USB. So yes.
Well,
You can program.
It should show
I
up.
need to check. Yeah.
It should show up. What's this other little?
I will check again. Because I was doing some experiments. I had like 7 serial ports open at the same time.
This one
is, and this is I mean related with the power supply,
that's
the
going,
charger or whatever.
yeah, that's going to be a regulator or something.
Yeah. Nice.
So we figured it out.
And this is maybe the reset.
Maybe that's why I don't know. I have a few ESP32s that don't want to show up until you hit the reset button.
After loading the code.
Well, I have a few of them where I have to hold the reset button and plug them in, and then they show up.
Okay.
But if you just plug it in, it doesn't show up. And I don't know why. They should all at least show up.
Maybe I need to power the board. I need to try everything.
Well, yeah, maybe. That's your
And
that's
I tried without battery the first time. Maybe the battery is the ones that power the instead of the USB goes to the charger. And it doesn't go through.
You know what else? Nah, they won't do that. It's got the chip on it. M5 started making an extra little dongle deal that you had to plug into the USB-C port to program it. That doesn't make any sense. They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that.
And now it's very cheap.
Why would they do that? That doesn't make any sense.
Maybe space. I mean, there are very tiny boards to put the CHP 340 out of the board. When is our next in-person meeting?
Our next in-person meeting will be. Today is April, right?
Yeah, 10.
So. Thursday. Yeah, May something. While we're on that subject, I've got to see about maybe getting this room in June. No, July. I've got us booked up. Group.Googles will not get me anywhere. Group.Google might get me somewhere. Googles. What the Googles?
You're like you didn't land on some funky page.
I'm really lucky I didn't land on some funky page. It's the Googles. We are May 1st. May 1st. It's a 5:30 meeting. So not 5 o'clock. We're a half hour later in Westchester next month.
Unfortunately, I won't be able to attend that one either.
Oh no.
I'm going to be in Florida.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be in Florida the 13th, maybe.
Where are we going?
No, no. Just doing a little vacation.
Yeah.
We're leaving.
Trying to figure
When
out
are
how
we leaving?
it. You're not going to tell us where we're going.
Florida's not that far away.
We're leaving late on the 26th or early on the 27th and won't be back till about the 3rd.
So if there happens to be a little thing on your trailer hitch behind you when you leave, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Do you have a particular hurricane you're going for?
No. We're going to go to Siesta Keys again, and they don't tend to get hit too much with hurricanes. It's just south of Tampa.
Okay. I'll be in Tampa, but 5 days later that you will be back.
Yeah.
Camp on the dad's property down there. First that time of year, it's probably covered in bugs. But
I'm not planning on going to Florida anytime soon. I'll be here.
Heat, humidity, salt.
I don't mind Florida. I mean, I've been to Florida a few times.
In a submarine.
Yeah.
Dad's got 20 acres there east of Tampa, Denali or whatever.
Well, the worst time that I ever went was going down to one of those islands, and the mosquitoes were just horrid.
Helicopters.
And
At least they're big enough to see.
the island closes like at dark, and there's very little power out there. It's like, I don't know where I am. I just want to go. I just want to go somewhere else. I just want to be somewhere else.
Went to Alaska usually July and early August. They have these no-see-ums or whatever. worse than mosquitoes because they're so tiny you can't see them, but
Oh,
they bite the crap out of you. But you can hear them.
you can hear them. Yeah.
So you know they're there because you can hear them buzzing in your ear and you're like, oh crap.
I hear them sucking. The blood.
So
You wake up in the morning, you got like 20 whelps on your arm where you got bit to pieces. Half your face.
I've got us booked clear up till July 3rd. And then July 10th, the room in Westchester wasn't available. So I'm going to check on Mason. Our internet seems to be working fairly
Well, there's a lot
Very-
of people here.
very well right now. So
I mean, when we were here last time, the lot was full.
yeah.
Kids everywhere.
Yeah, there's I think that has a lot to do with it. Maybe they reset the routers since then too.
I don't know. There was 8 parking spots open when I pulled in, so. All
But
the
there
kids
was-
were leaving.
There was 5 or 6 when I got here. So
Well, with that time of year too, it'll be summer, so there won't be anybody here probably because it won't be a daycare.
yeah. Yeah, I mean we're getting decent speeds again.
So our goal is to have a sumo droid fight in the center arena.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Big one.
Big one.
Big one. Combat droids.
Can I use gasoline
Yeah, sure.
and fire?
So,
Gasoline and fire. Yeah, it's brick around here. That should be fine.
you guys watch the battle bots?
I haven't watched BattleBots in a very long time.
The year after COVID. I don't think I've had another one since. So many of the bots
I
blew
think
up
that
from the battery packs being so bad.
Oh, from sitting
Well, no, the new batteries were just
bad.
bad. Like, I mean, 2 or 3 of them caught fire just turning on and you rolling out into the field.
I always like there was another robot competition show a long time ago, and it was on during the first run of Robot Wars or whatever that was. And it was more of a challenge kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Build your robot to do a
do
specific
something.
task or
Yeah.
whatever. I
That's
always
better
liked
than
it
just
a way
brute-
more.
brute force of trying to.
Yeah, I liked it way more than BattleBots or whatever. that
Did
is.
you ever watch the DARPA
I've seen
droids? where
parts
they
of
have to
it.
do like an obstacle course of like 5 different things.
Yeah.
I really liked one. That was freaky. The last one I saw, because they drive like a Jeep
Mhm.
to an obstacle course, park the car, get out,
Well,
walk over
very
to a,
complex.
they have like tools set on
Yeah,
pins,
and
and
do
they have
something.
to use it, grab the correct tool
Planks,
to do the job.
stairs or ladders or something.
Well, they have like, you had to drill a hole in a plaque and something else, and it like, it had like a saw, a drill
I
and
think
something
they are
else.
trying to imitate like a nuclear plant that had that was in trouble and they need
Yeah.
to move valves and
The last one I saw was rescue somebody from a confined space within a certain amount of time.
after an earthquake or something.
Yeah, and it was set up.
Yeah,
Rescuers would have had a hard time rescuing, and these robots went through.
yeah. Well, they make some interesting rescue robots. I haven't seen any of that stuff for a while, but the one, what was it, TV-42 or something, or the got a little like face with scoopy hands for rescuing people from the field under fire and bringing them back. That one's really impressive.
Well, there's a lot of them that are, but
I like the ones in the water, drones that move like a lifesaver or something. and catch the people in the water.
Yeah.
I don't remember what that show was though, but I always liked it better than BattleBots. BattleBots,
Well, I would say they only have all the competition once a year or something instead of like.
And sometimes it's very random, you know.
Yeah.
One guy wins because a random hit or whatever.
that BattleBots, they're RC controlled. They're not independent. I mean,
Well, they're not, yeah, they're not AI.
They're not bots.
they're remote control cars
RC
with
Destruction Derby.
their remote controlled destruction derby.
Some of them blow up quite well though.
And that was the difference between the two shows. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously,
you had real bots versus, I got you.
you had stuff this size doing a task, going through a maze or whatever
Yeah.
without intervention. Or,
I know what you're talking about. I know like the little tabletop competition, the obstacle.
well, and then they could go bigger too, but it was a much. Of course, I'm kind of a nerd, so I like that stuff more than just random destruction.
Oh, I get it.
Random
Some of the
destruction.
RC stuff is fun to watch because it's, like I said, it's demolition derby with no life.
Yeah,
When they started taking the rules off and allowing the flame jets and everything, and the UMT and everything, that made it more fun.
oh, just a little.
Saw blades cutting through the battery pack, cut the droid in half. They go boom.
And
Tombstone's still a destroyer of stuff though, but
I
15-pound wall of metal spinning at 3,000 RPM destroys pretty much everything.
but that's why I liked like First Robotics, the school. They do those competitions and everybody does the same thing for the year. They organize and you get basketball shooting robots or whatever, and everybody comes up with a different way to do it.
My daughter needs a proof that I am in the meeting.
Oh, hi.
Send her a link to the website for her to log in. She watches it here at the library with us.
We're live. Sort of. We're sort of alive.
I don't think my parents can figure out how to log in though. Use the password on it.
So I don't know. I don't know anyone. I'm just here. I'm alive.
That's something. Okay, I will start moving my robots. I have some ideas.
I have.
But we need more in person, maybe meetings. Or I can make an array of cameras at home, maybe to show the.
You know what we could conceive. We used to have a meeting every week, an in-person meeting every week.
Yeah.
Since there's kind of two libraries, maybe we could two here, two there.
Yeah.
We're allowed to book a room for 2 weeks. I mean, two times a month.
We need a warehouse for the club. Yes.
Well, don't joke about that.
Ray will
Yell at us because he's offered his place.
Here town. How far from you will be like 45 minutes?
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Ray's got a wonderful place, but he is not centrally located.
No, he's not. He is if everybody was around Dayton.
Yeah.
Between Springdale and Dayton.
I mean, I live fairly close and I don't like driving to his
Yeah.
place.
You're closer than all of us. so
I am.
what are you complaining about?
He left Middletown and now hate Middletown.
I do not like driving to Middletown. I'm glad we are out of Middletown. I don't really like going back to Middletown.
No, please.
But
I'd like to go hang out there sometime, but it's, like I could go bunny.
the biggest, he's usually there, well, not, I won't say that. If he's there, it's on the weekends. So you're not going to bug him too much. He's doing
to play.
stuff. He's playing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think it'd be a fun time to go out there and play with him sometime. when
You've
he
got-
is playing.
You've got to text him ahead of time and say,
Yeah. It'll
are you
always
going to be
happen.
there or
For
whatever?
me, it's like a hour and a half, 2 hour drive. and
Yeah. He really doesn't care if you tell him no, if he's there. I've sat there
Maybe we
before.
can use the IKEA meeting room.
IKEA has a meeting room?
I don't, for them. I mean,
But make me up a bunch of prints or something to be
Anyone.
made and be like, here's what I want made. And let him laser it all out.
we can use the furniture exhibition and sit around.
Well,
People passing by.
you know,
"Hey, I mean,
it's just a thought. We could try to go back to meeting once a week again. You know, once there, once here, once there, once here. But it's just like I mean, you can only book like 90 days ahead or something. And people are grabbing that room like crazy. I mean, I feel lucky I was able to get it for July.
Yeah, I'm curious what all they're doing there, to be honest.
I feel lucky I was able to get it. And when I tried to book the room for May and June, the times were close, but not right. I mean,
It is what it is. I find it curious that many groups are utilizing that room.
well,
in summer is harder to find rooms.
apparently.
Well, it's like, I don't know who all are coming in there, but the one day we went in there and was following, some restaurant
Yeah.
had a manager meeting there.
And then last time we were in there, I mean, I was kind of late shutting down and they were walking in the door.
Well, it can be in a restaurant or coffee shop or something, but must be in different hour, you know,
Yeah.
because there is dinner time now. And
Yeah.
they don't like that.
Well, this works. And having the ability to have, I mean, now there's 2 libraries that we know,
Yeah,
they're not far from each other, really. About 3 miles ish. Ish. And this is a nice big open
Yeah.
space if we wanted to do something big.
Very much got a nice place too.
Wow,
He's like, shut up, Barry, that's further.
trying to keep it fairly
You have
central.
This room, for another day, this room, you have it? No,
No,
you need to.
to book it. No, I feel very lucky that I was able to book Westchester as much as I was able to book it, even though the times are wrong.
I just went all those years without any trouble, it just seems odd.
Well, yeah, it's COVID. COVID
Change
screwed with
everything, yeah.
everything.
Change the system.
But when Jim had it, he had a book for years ahead of time.
Hmm.
Guess he talked to somebody there or whatever,
It's just a reoccurring-
had it as a reoccurring meeting, and that was fine, but when COVID hit and there was no more meetings, no more no in-person anything,
Yeah.
they erased all of it. It was all gone. And then they switched to a different system.
So
To
probably
book
some
the
different
rooms.
staff probably had new
And-
people and probably pushed out everybody that worked there before.
Well, they pushed out a good number of them because I don't recognize some of their faces. Some of them,
The small rooms in Westchester, there is a problem with them.
they're just small.
Well, but some, if we are 5 or so,
Yeah.
maybe enough just to have a room.
Well. Yeah. We don't need to book those small rooms, though. Those are first come, first serve. So if you're there,
We can try, figure out how we can use them.
Yeah, just sit at the table out in the middle of the open table.
yeah, we did that once.
Did you
Yeah.
run some RC robots around the room?
So yeah, that's part of the problem with West. They've got nice small rooms.
Yeah.
But if we wanted to do a demo,
Yeah.
you're in a room
Yeah.
a quarter of the size of this. So.
Everybody lift your feet.
Yeah, there's no TV. I mean, we may do with watching everybody on the laptop today, but having everybody up on the big screen is sure nice. So I don't know. It seems like it's the same discussion all the time. We'll deal with what we deal with when
Well,
we deal
we
with it.
we can donate a screen. I have several screens in basement.
That's in that small room.
Yeah, but in a wall, I mean. I don't know, we can check and see,
I don't know.
maybe we can do demos in the parking lot. With big stuff or whatever.
I'll say, they always have that really big room across the hall. I mean,
Yeah,
almost always empty. I don't see why.
almost every
or-
time I go in there, they're doing some sort of after school program or
Yeah.
something.
Or we changed our
Kids
operates
get picked
for
up at five, so-
micro robots. Those
Yeah, little tiny
robots.
robot.
By 5:30, they're gone.
Yeah.
So the parents are picking them up when we get there.
I don't know what they do.
As I say, I don't know what they've done in there. They've changed something because they don't let the kids over in the other side since that fight.
Oh, I didn't know there was a fight down.
When I got there one time, I don't know if you were out sick, I bet, but they had about 8 police officers in the lobby and they had tape over the girls' bathroom.
Wow.
And, yeah, they've had like 7 or 8 of the adults running around out there. And since then, they haven't let the kids into the
Well, I know they
section, and they
they-
have some kind of program where they say, tell the kids to go around to the
Yeah.
other door.
I knew that kids have to go in through a different door now.
Yeah. I don't know exactly what happened, but yeah, they had a lot of cops there and had a police tape closed off the women's restroom. So,
Okay, then. Well. Okay. Don't know either.
You tried any of the power supplies I gave you? They work?
They don't charge the battery.
Yeah, I changed everything. I changed the power supply twice.
Yep.
I changed the battery. I changed the cable that goes from the charger to
Yeah.
the back panel. And nothing.
oh, charge board out or something on the board.
It's been like this since he gave it to me. So. Actually, the very first day that I got it, it acted like it might want to charge and then it just didn't. The light actually stayed on, but the battery did not take a charge.
I'll do something with the charger circuit. Maybe this is the last
See this
thing
little,
to do, you know, just change the board, the charging board completely.
Depending on if it's separate of the motherboard.
this,
Some
this,
models aren't.
this machine,
I don't think so.
Yeah,
It's
it's
very-
motherboard.
this machine is very interesting and there's a lot of modularity to it that I don't know if the charging circuit's modular.
Well, there for a while, and board was a daughter board. And it would pull them off and then slot over, but they quit
Well,
doing that.
I would imagine that
They're wearing.
when you opened it up and changed the cable, you would have seen that you could have changed the charging thing too.
That wasn't my, I don't remember, but I remember that there are a lot of tools, a lot of sequences. You need to turn over the thing several times.
Yeah.
Open one side,
Yeah,
open another
that's
one.
not a-
Remove the keyboard, remove
that's a
the
pain,
screws in the
yeah.
top, screws in the bottom. Was
Yeah, they,
was a
It's not
pain.
as bad as some
Was a
of the
pain.
others, but it is not a fun model to
To-
work on.
Well,
to get to.
I decided to give it away before I opened it again. Because
Well-
I hate that.
To get to some of the common stuff, it's really, really easy and simple, but to get to
Yeah.
the
So,
stuff that we shouldn't be messing with.
Dell's better than some other brands is all I'm saying.
This is a
But
heck
Dell
of
for
a
a little
system.
while, they did have. sister
The
brands,
battery,
some of
the drive, there are several stuff that is easy,
But
but the
The-
power,
The Wi-Fi card is up under the keyboard and
yeah.
it was fairly simple to get to.
I remember also I
I don't
changed the
remember
keyboard.
what year they quit doing
The
about it.
keyboard was without the backlight. I changed it.
Yeah.
It was also a lot of work.
I quit working on XPS stuff a long time ago, so I don't know what they did actually.
I really dig the SPS line. I like it. They're big and they're heavy, but I like them.
I got to, usually those burn out and
There's,
a lot quicker than the Latitude. That's all Latitude and
there's two hard drives in it. One of them is a SSD and one of them is a spinny drive.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're piece of cake to get to the memory. The memory's right there. It's a
I
piece of
changed,
cake to get
the
to.
SSD. I put the solid state one.
Yep. So I'm going to shut down so I can put stuff away. But we are virtual next week.
Next week. Okay.
So I will see everybody next week.
Okay.
Guys,
Bye.
Thank you much.
Have a good week.
you too.
What am I doing? There's the button. I lost the